Hi everybody, this is Kim Krause coming to you from Littleton, Colorado. First of all, guys, I want to tell you, you have made a fantastic decision to join Rodan & Fields. I've been with Rodan & Fields for 8.5 years now, and hands down, it has been the very best business decision that I could have ever made for me, for my family, for my time freedom, my financial freedom, my skin, my eyelashes, everything. I still wake up every day and kind of pinch myself that this is what I get to do. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, what I want to challenge you with is, like I said, you've made a great decision to join Rodan & Fields. You get the opportunity to be first, an early adopter, and you only get the chance to be first once, right? So, congratulations again on that. But you made that great decision to join. I want you to make a decision right now, today. And here's what the decision I want you to make is to hone your skills, okay? It's so important to learn the skills to do this business. I often tell people, you know what? I couldn't walk into you are now a business owner, okay? I couldn't walk into any of several professions, things that you guys might do. You may be a school teacher, you may be a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, a CPA. I mean, there's so many careers out there. I couldn't walk into those businesses and do those, or and do what you do every day. But guess what? If I learned the skill and I was taught how to do it, I absolutely could, right? This business is no different. So, especially what I'm going to talk about today, inviting skills. I call inviting skills a gateway skill. And it really is, we always say getting to level 5 is the gateway to the good stuff, right? And it just means that's when you're really starting to build a business and duplicating. And, in order to get to level 5 and get to the gateway of the good stuff, you need to have gateway skills. And I personally believe that inviting skill is probably the biggest gateway skill that you could have. Okay, so I love talking about Rodan & Fields. I get excited every time I think about the company, still today. And I love sharing with people. I love sharing with people about our products. I love sharing with people about our business, how it can change their lives and how it can fit into what their goals are. I love talking about our products and how it can change their skin and really what the benefits are for them of doing this, okay? A couple key things. I'm a true believer somebody can't tell you no unless they truly understand what it is that you do. So if you send somebody a quick message and they say, and I get this all the time, we all get it, okay? But again, you've got to have the skill to learn how to overcome it. So what you're going to get sometimes if you reach out to somebody, even with some really good language, and they go, oh, that sounds great and everything, Kim, but I'm really too busy. Okay, to me, that's not a no. I'm still going to go back to that person because here's the thing. People can't tell me no to my products or no to my business unless they truly understand what it is that I do or how the products can benefit them. So Stephen Covey wrote a book called 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And whenever I think of the inviting skill or inviting language, I always think of one of his 7 habits, and I don't know where it falls in the equation, but he says, seek first to understand, and then seek to be understood. And really, guys, it will set you free. I'm always trying to understand how this business or my products can help somebody and work for them. And when I seek to understand them, I am basically, I'm not going inward, I'm going outward, okay? And that's how this doesn't become emotional. It's easy for me to talk to people because it's not about me. It's not about me getting a new consultant or a new preferred customer, even though we want to. I'm emotionally not tied to that. I'm more emotionally tied to understanding what somebody else's needs are and then getting them to understand how what I have can be a benefit for them. Does that make sense? And man, when you wrap your brain around this business that way, it makes talking to people really simple and really fun. And you really come into your own authentic self. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. I don't want you to be afraid to talk to your friends because you're going to lose your friends or they're going to run from you. Nobody wants that, right? Guess what? I've never had that. I don't have that happen because again, I want to understand if it's a fit for them, and if it's not, I'm fine with it. So I want you to just kind of emotionally, disengage from that. I always say, be married to the skill, or be married to the action, but basically divorce the outcome. Okay. And I know Romy asked you guys to join the daily experience page, and there's phenomenal daily training that comes from some of the top income earners and the top achievers in our company. I love that page. But I did a little video on there, and I'm going to, I guess, shamelessly promote because it ties into what I'm talking about right now. And it's basically, I talked for just 10 minutes about how you can love talking about roading and fields, and why I love talking about it so much. I'm not going to get a chance. I don't want to duplicate and say the same thing, but if you get a chance and you're on daily experience, go take a peek at that, because it is really how I love talking about the business. But today, I want to just kind of drill down and talk to you about some exact inviting language, okay? And why I want you to learn a skill, and I want you to decide today that you are going to learn the skills that it takes to be successful in this business. Guess what? Here's the good news. It's easy. It's teachable. It's not rocket science, okay? That's what I'll promise you. And it's totally worth it. And guys, there's only about 6 fundamental skills in this business. Yes, you heard me right, 6, not 60, 6 fundamental skills in this business that you need to learn that can help you be wildly successful, okay? And, you've heard from several of our top leaders. I think Nicole Cormany, who I love. Hi, Nicole. She did a great video on prospecting. It was prospecting or building your list, I think is what it was called. And without a doubt, I loved how she said that, 6 years, she still has never run out of prospects. I'm in agreement. I haven't either. 8.5 years. There are people out there everywhere to talk to, right? And about their skin. I mean, just this week, I went out and got 2 brand new preferred customers, and I've gotten a brand new business partner. I'm still doing the exact same thing I did when I came in. My skill is just better, right? I never run out of people. So that's a skill, prospecting, right? Building your list. Number 2 is, I think the skill is inviting language. It's a gateway skill, kind of what I just mentioned, and I'm going to talk to you about that today. Number 3, follow-up. Fortune's in the follow-up. You hear that all the time. That would be another thing that we could teach you guys. 4th is probably learning how to do a great 3-way phone call, learning how to bring them, and learning how to do them, and learning how to duplicate. I think another skill that you could learn is obviously how to bring in your new preferred customers and bring in your consultants and get them off to a fast start. And guys, that's basically it. See what I'm talking about is that really, but it's important that you learn how to do all of those things. And the faster you learn how to do those things, and the more comfortable you are speaking to people and telling them about your products and about your business, the more successful you're going to be. So, like I said, I'm going to post 2 documents that I keep in my my back office, and one is called Magic Words, and my business partner Diane DeLongshaw and I, she's an RFX Circle Achiever. I remember sitting on an airplane one day after she took a course from someone in that coaches in the direct sale business, and it was really magic words, how to show people the benefits of this business. And we both really fell in love with the language, and we sat on the plane and created this document, and it's proved invaluable for our team. And the other thing I'm going to give you is basically, it's just 8 simple steps of, I lost the cover page here, but it's basically 8 simple steps to inviting, okay? And basically, it's just inviting with power, right? And I would tell you sometimes, I would even, you can't see it, but it's inviting with power. I would cut that out and put it on my computer screen so it can remind you. When I was first doing this business, I always worked on a script, guys, always, until basically it became second nature. When I would learn language, I would always practice it over and over again. The funny thing is sometimes I would practice my language on people that I thought would have no interest in my business whatsoever, that I was just practicing. So they didn't know I was practicing, but I would do this like a grocery store clerk or somebody. Well, what do you do? Well, this is what I do. I'd love to share with you more about what I do. It may or may not be a fit, but if I sent you a link to take a look at, if I sent you a link, would you take a look at it? And it's crazy. People never told me no. And it got to the point where I just had so many leagues, I just had to keep following up with them. So my point is, I have honed a skill that basically my problem is I've just got to be able to follow up with all of these people. So that's a good problem to have, right? So anyway, this is again the kind of inviting with power. I'm going to put that in the back office, but I tell you, there is one piece of this, and it's step number 4 on here. If I would you, okay? I tell my new consultants always I want them to write that phrase down when I'm teaching a new person inviting language. So let me tell you how that phrase works. Really that question is really a secret weapon in our business, and I think it's by far the most powerful phrase that I've ever come across with what we do. So, like for example, if I invited you to a special invitation-only webinar, would you attend? So if I gave you a link to a website with a presentation, would you check it out? If I invited you to a special invitation-only conference call, would you listen in? The question is so powerful for a number of reasons, guys, because we invite to a lot of different things. Like I just mentioned, virtual events, live events, BBLs, phone calls. We use them as tools so we don't have to be on the phone forever. If I invited you to this, would you do this, right? But first of all, it's a reciprocal question, okay? You're saying that, you will do something if they will do something. If I did this, would you do this? As human beings, we're hardwired to respond positively to these types of situations. And guys, this is why it's a skill, and it's why it works for me all the time. I mean, it works. It psychologically works, and we're hardwired to work that way. And it puts you into a place of power, right? You are in control when you use that phrase. You're not begging them to do something. You're not asking for favors. You're simply offering a value exchange, okay? So third, it implies that you have something of value to offer, okay? You're saying you will do something, but not unless that person will do something in exchange, okay? When you value what you have, people will respect you, and I promise you that, okay? If you treat this business with enthusiasm and passion, and people can see that come through with you, and if you value what you have, they will value it. And that is really what I call posture in this business, and that means everything. Okay, so if you use if I would you, you're having a business conversation, But if you use, I really, really want you. You sound desperate, right? And it's not an attractive thing. I really, really want you to watch this. I'm really excited about it. You really need it. You're begging them. We don't want to beg people. We want to basically come up with a strong position. If I sent you this, would you take a look? I know, when we have these Give It a Glow samples, that if I was going to hand somebody a sample, I would basically say, hey, I've got something for you. But you got to make me a promise. They say, what is that? I said that you're going to use it. I'm not going to give it to you unless you use it, because I want to know what you think about it, because I think I believe you're going to love it. And then they go, okay. And I go, so if I give it to you, you got to use it, and I want to call you and see what you think about it. I mean, that's really what I say. But it comes with something. If I give it to you, I want to call you. I want to be able to give you a call and see what you think about it. Your opinion really matters to me. Okay. If they say no, I'm not going to use it. Which, by the way, there has been one person that said to me, she goes, Kim, I'm never going to use that. I don't use skincare products and that kind of thing. I said, well, okay, well, I'm not going to give it to you then, because these things cost me $5 a piece. And I didn't give it to her because I value it, right? And I did the takeaway. Guess who came to me a week later out on the playground and asked me for a sample? Sure enough, she did, right? Because I valued what I have. I wasn't trying to beg her to do something. I'm like, if I would you? And she came up and I said, well, are you going to use it? She goes, yeah, after we talked, I realized I do need something on my skin, and, I'd like to give it a try. And guess what? She's a customer of mine now, right? But I showed that value. I'm not there to give anything away. I don't have to. We have the best thing since sliced bread. We are blessed to be the brand ambassadors for, truly the number one premium skincare brand in the U.S. And like I said, soon to be Australia because of you guys. We're blessed to be that, right? So act that way. Own it. Have posture, be confident. Those are those are the people that you want to do business with, right? So be that person when you're talking about this business. And that is hugely important in the skill of learning how to do all this, right? So, so basically, you know, if I would, you gets results. It gets people to say yes, and it helps it helps prospects see what we have in a different light. Almost 100% of the time, guys, people say yes. If I say, if I would you, if I invited you this webinar, would you pop on to it, right? If they ask for more information, I respond, I understand you want more information, but everything that you're going to be looking for is on that link. Okay, we're going to be discussing everything you want to know on that phone call. We're going to be discussing everything you want to know on that three-way phone call, right? It's the fastest way for you to really understand what I'm talking about, is for you to, you know, review it. And so if I send it to you, again, would you review it? I mean, that's what I would say if they were giving me, you know, saying stuff like that. If they say no, like I said, I thank them and then I move on. So anyway, I find that to be a very, very effective, if I would you. It works for me, guys, almost every single time. So that is something that is a key for me in inviting language. Now, another thing that's a key for me in inviting language, like I said, I always have scripts, you know, and I don't have them anymore because I can kind of do this with, you know, I've learned a skill, right? But on here, I show you there's example scripts, like to people who hate their jobs, or somebody that's a good friend, or somebody that's highly successful. You know, we want to show them the benefits because, like I said, we want them to understand how this is going to help them. This is about them. And people are more worried about how is this going to work for them, right? So I'm just going to give you an example. So this is like to a highly successful person. You know, I know you're busy and I have a million things going on too, but I'm glad I caught you. You know, you've been wildly successful and I've always respected the way you've done business. I've recently started a new business and I'm looking for some sharp people. It's clearly not for you, but I wanted to ask you who you know who's ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited about the idea of adding significant amount of cash flow to their lives. Okay, can you see how I did the takeaway in there? Now I'm reading this, but a lot of times I remember I took a girlfriend to lunch one night and I said, look, I would love to just network with you. I want to share with you what I'm looking for. I am looking for highly motivated people. I'm looking for, you know, people that like people. I'm looking for people that are coachable and really want to add a big cash flow to their lives. And, you know, I know this may or may not be a fit for you, but I would love to network with you. You know, and again, she just says, I am interested. What about me? You know, so guys, you can do this being, you know, having the takeaway. You know, and I understand that you'd want to know more about it before you recommend people. So if I invite you to a short virtual webinar, would you listen in and provide me feedback? So again, you're going to this person saying, hey, I know this business is not for you, but let me ask you this. If I sent you a link of a virtual short webinar, and guys, that's how the guy that invited me, that's why I want you to listen to that little quick 10-minute video. That's how he got me to do it. Literally, he said, you know, if I would you, and I did it because I told him I wasn't interested. He said, well, guess what, Kim, if I would send you some information to show you what you may be thinking is not accurate, would you take 10 minutes to look at it? Maybe it's not a fit for you, but maybe you can help me network. And guess what? I was then getting excited to get it. He didn't know this, but for me, because he did a lot of things in that phone call, but he mainly had a skill, and I explained that phone call on that quick video. But again, you know, I'm saying, if I invite you to a short virtual webinar, would you listen in and provide me your feedback? Great. And he says, yeah, I'd love to do that, you know, and that's exactly what I told him. I said, yeah, go ahead and send it over. Maybe I can help you network, right? Then I listened to it. And then I say, I'll add you to the Facebook page so you can listen on Tuesday night. And can you provide me your feedback on Wednesday morning? Great, I'll check. And then they go, yeah, I'll watch it. And I'll say, can you, so you'll watch it. You're going to watch it on Wednesday. And they say, yes, I'll watch it on Wednesday. And I'll say, well, great. I'm going to call you back on Wednesday morning, and I'd love to get your feedback. And what's the best number for me to call you at and best time? Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm basically confirming. I'm having them confirm that they're going to do it. And I'm confirming that they're going to do it by Wednesday. And then I'm confirming, you know, the best number to call them back on, okay? So, guys, I give you exactly why these 8 steps are so important and why they work. And the key is getting to the next step and getting that next appointment and you taking control. And it's all here in this document, really, on these 8 simple inviting with power, okay? And I give you exact language, and I just went through some of it. And like I said, too, Diane DeLongchamp and I did this magic words after she did a course on magic words. And this is wonderful, too, because it shows benefits, for people that, are in different professions, how you can talk to them, okay? And here's just one, for example. It says, my business is phenomenal, because you want to show how your business is phenomenal at helping people just like them. We use the phrase a lot in this business, I'd love for you, like if you're inviting to a 3-way phone call, you know what, I would love for you to meet my friend, Kim. She's just like you and me, or she's just like you. She was a former realtor. She's a mother of 3. She was busy just like you. You see what I'm saying? We're connecting just like you. I'm understanding this is what you're going through, right? It's not about me, it's about you. So we want to let them know what are the benefits for them for this business. So here's some good language. Again, all in this document. And guys, there's pages. And don't be overwhelmed by this, because we just give you different scenarios. I always said I would look at this language and I would put it in Kim speak, because there's a lot of this that maybe I wouldn't speak this way. And I said to you earlier, I want you to be authentically you. It's interesting to me how people start inviting, they become somebody else. I want you to be you and the best you. So if some of this language is not, your language that you would use, change it. We don't talk here in the States the way you talk in Australia. And heck, I'm from the South. And in the South, we don't talk the way that people in the North talk, or, so we all have this little different language. Make it your own and make it yours, okay? But here's one, for example. It says, my business is phenomenal at helping teachers create an additional source of income and revenue in a very part-time hour, so they have the financial ability to do more of the things they enjoy with the people they love or their kiddos, and ultimately be able to replace their current income if they so choose to. My business is phenomenal at helping nurses. Make an additional source of income and revenue in very part-time hours, so they can work less shifts at the hospital and have more work-life balance and be able to spend more time with the people they love, right? So we really talk about, how in these words about how our business is so phenomenal, for so many different professions. And then we also give you some phone scripts, okay? So, and this could be one for a stay-at-home mom, right? Hi, Sarah, it's Kim. How are you? So, how are you? Great. Well, you know what? You've been on my mind lately, and, I'm calling you for a reason today. I have just a few minutes. Is this a good time? Yep, it's a good time. And basically, and so it just talks about how you ask them if it's a good time. I've been thinking about you a lot, because I remember us talking about how you love being there for the kids, but you really miss having something of your own for your own sanity, right? Your identity and your bank account. I thought of you because I'm now working with so many women just like you who are spending part-time hours every week building fantastic businesses of their own while still being hands-on moms with flexible schedules. They're able to pay for their kids and walk away from corporate careers and just like the one you had. It's just, it goes on and on here. I think I missed a page right here, but one-on-one. We talk to you about everything, a corporate, career moms, you name it. So the goal is that you personally, though, become really comfortable with inviting language and making sure that you make it about that person. So I'm always saying, again, it may or may not be a fit for you, but my business is perfect for stay-at-home moms that, want to bring in a little additional, extra income, or maybe $500 a month alongside, being able to stay home with your kids. Would that make a difference in your household? Yeah, it would make a difference. Well, phenomenal. Let me ask you this. If I sent you some information, would you take a look at it? Yes, I'll take a look at it. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to send you the link. Take a look at the link. It should take about 15 minutes to watch it, or the phone call, or the virtual presentation, or maybe you invited them to something. Again, inviting language, guys, is about inviting them to something. You know, it's inviting them to learn more. It could be a mirage, you know, a huge different things is my point. It could be a business event. It could be a three-way phone call. It could be a virtual. It could be you name it. It could be whatever. You get my point, right? So so that's kind of what I have for you today. I don't want to run off too long for this because I'm giving you all of this language on a link. But again, my goal is for each and every one of you to learn this skill because it's so powerful when you can be your authentic self and really speak with people with confidence and go into it again, you know, not inward but outward, knowing it's about them, not about you, asking questions and then having the skill to follow up and get them to a tool, right? And get them to the next appointment and get them closed. And it all starts with this inviting language that I'm going to give you. So anyway, make sure you study it, look at it, and learn it. And again, congratulations and welcome to our team, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.